You know, you've been on the other side of it. How does it feel, Gamebred Fighting Championship? Now you're on this side of it, the promotion side of the mixed martial arts.
Amazing. Since we got into it, me, Dean, and the guys over at Personal Management, we had one thing clear, that we want to bring a lot of exposure to the fighters. Everything that I have, I want to be able to bring it to the fighters, get as much eyeballs on them, and get as paid as much. This is our first event, but we're looking to throw on, I think, 6 more events this year, and we're just going to keep increasing the money for these fighters, and that's what we're trying to do, man. Get these fighters paid and put on action fights.
Right, unbelievable. You started the backyard, Kimbo. We know how much he means to you. The evolution, 20 years ago. Now it's 2021. How does it feel to be the star, be the name in bare knuckle right now?
I freaking love it, man. I love the scrap, so to have anything, my name being tied so high with Kimbo in the bare knuckle scrapping, it's just amazing. I got lucky that day that Kimbo asked me to go to that backyard, so I want these guys to get lucky. I want somebody to catch their break, go out there, get their 5 seconds of fame, knock somebody out in a devastating fashion, and change their life. So I just, I love it, man. It's a great feeling.
Unbelievable. 2 more quick ones for me, guys. All the fighters here, they had so much respect for you. They inspire to be like. How does that make you feel as still, competing at the highest level, and all these guys look up to you?
Well, they don't have to say it. I don't have to say it. We know what we put in the grind. I know what it takes for these guys to be here. They know what I've been doing my whole career. So it's mutual respect. We don't even have to say it. I can tell by just looking at them, and they look at me. We've both been through the same grind. We know what it takes to get to that level. So it's like an unspoken agreement of what's up, man. You're a badass. What's up,
Unbelievable. Last one, you personally, 2021, do you think you'll be back in the octagon?
Yeah.
And 3 quick names for you. Leon, Nick, or Nate?
All of the above. Wherever's available, October, November, when I'm coming back, that's who's head I'm taking off. Wherever it is.
Appreciate you, my man.
Chris, with Kickstarter, Chris or James. You've done everything in the fight game. You started out in the backyard, now you're in the UFC, you've been all over. But this is your first trip into being a promoter. So what have you learned on the backside, behind the scenes now, that you maybe like or don't like about having to be the promoter?
I never say that on air, man. Everything out to the sauce, you're giving out all the secrets, man. But definitely one thing I can say is I've been a fighter my whole life. It's my trade, right? So I just want to make it right for the fighters. I know where I would get pissed off in a lot of times with promotions coming up on the way to the UFC, and there's a lot of unfair things that they do to fighters. We're looking to change that. We're looking to make sure that fighters are like, man, I'm going to fight for this because of this, and this, So that's something definitely we'll be addressing every show from here on out.
That's awesome. And you were standing there again, as a promoter behind the fighters where they're facing off normally. You're standing there and Dana White's standing over, looking over you. I watched you a couple times looking at these guys' eyes. What do you see in these kids that are coming out here to fight tomorrow night?
Oh, you can see the fire in their eyes, So some of them are a little dormant until they get in front of their opponent, and then you see that, you can feel that energy, and I love it. I know what's about to happen, so I love it, man. When 2 guys are ready to go and they lock eyes, it's impressive. You can feel that tension.
So, and on Dave's question, he asked about Nick, Nate, and Leon. A lot of people out there really want to see the Leon fight because of the whole 3-piece of the soda, and that really, just brought you to life that night. So, is there an order, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter who it is. Whoever's in the top 5 available November, October, that's who's head I'm coming after you.
And let me ask you too, Leon and Nate just fought. What did you think of that fight, the performance from both of those guys?
It was a good fight, good performance. I thought Leon does what he does, and he keeps asking for more money, more things, but not a finisher, not a fighter. He was winning happily, and he wasn't willing to put himself in the risk to go out there and get those finishes. That's why I don't think he's in the position that he wants to be, because he's not going out there fighting every second of every minute. So he's a very skilled guy, but he just doesn't have that grit in him, that meanness in him to go out there and beat up a top contender the way you should.
Yeah, and you said August, I believe, was the next